Hi Java students. If you are going to be making the 2048 game, I had to make a few small adjustments to our framework. The first being you no longer have a mouse release method. You instead have a key release method to check which key is being pressed. Because in the game where we swipe, we're going to have to use arrow keys to signify the kind of swiping that we would want to do. So we're going to use the coded keys of the arrow keys, and we're going to pass in just the number that I'm associating with each of those positions. You are welcome to change any of this if you want to, but this is just here as starter code for you. And then that number of the code of which direction we are choosing to move is what we pass into the game board's move method. Now, it's possible if you press another key that isn't one of these four coded keys that you will pass in something that is a -1. And for the most part, that will cause problems within your game, right? We can't move in a direction that is none of those four options. So you're going to want to have to do some kind of an error analysis check, and I will show you what it looks like right now and what's crashing it if you type somewhere else, if you press another key that is not one of those four directional keys. But anyway, inside a game board, the only other thing that I added is I added an array list just so that you can keep track of what each number is while you're within the class of the game board, and so that way we can have a quick and easy debugging that tells us which key it thinks we're pressing. Obviously, none of the rest of the move method is here. That's for you to decide and to figure out. But let's go ahead and run it, and I'm going to show you. The console is up. We've got the setting debugging message up there, and here's what's going to happen. I'm going to press the left arrow key. All you see is the debugging information that tells me I wanted to move left. Now let's try right. Let's try up. Let's try down. So when I press those arrow keys, that information is being sent over to move. What you choose to do with your pieces inside of your grid as a result, that is up to you to decide. Right now, however, if I press something like the space bar, whoops. Space bar is not a key that I can press. Sorry, let's try that. If I press what's another coded key that I have available to me? Is shift coded? So there are a few other coded keys that if I chose to press one of those coded keys, like shift, it's going to crash your program simply because the key value, it's here, is set to -1 until a coded key is selected. It's set to -1. When I pressed a coded key that was not one of these four, it stayed -1, so that -1 got passed over through my move method. And the only reason that it's crashing right now is because I went to go try to get the index at -1 within this array list, and we know that that's an error. So that's what's coming up as my error. It's an index out of bounds exception on an array list, different than what you'll see. You'll see the same error, but that can also happen on our two-dimensional arrays. So I just wanted to let you know that that is a possibility of an error that you will see for key issues. It would be an easy one to fix here just to double check that the key is, between 0 and 4 before you do anything else within your move method. That's up for you to decide if and how you want to handle those kinds of errors of pressing the wrong keys. In the same way that in previous games we've had to decide how to deal with clicking outside of the grid. But that's it.